How did a kid from Santa Cruz with a bowl cut, neon windbreakers, and JNCO jeans convince the entire world that he was a walking, talking meme, only to become one of the most brilliant, chaotic music icons of our generation? On June 14, 2026, the music world ground to a devastating halt. News broke out of Rio de Janeiro that Oliver Tree Nickel had passed away at just 32 years old following a catastrophic mid-air helicopter collision. The internet thought it was another one of his elaborate stunts. But this time, the tragedy was real. Today, we look past the giant scooters, the fake feuds, and the viral TikTok trends to uncover the true story of Oliver Tree, the mastermind who proved that in the modern music industry, being unforgettable means being completely unhinged. Long before he was breaking world records, Oliver Tree Nickel was just a creative kid growing up in Santa Cruz, California. Born on June 29, 1993, to artistic parents, Oliver was practically bred to think outside the box. By the time he was in middle school, he wasn't just listening to music, he was deeply embedded in it. He started out playing in local ska punk bands, learning the raw energy of live performance. But as the 2010s rolled around, electronic music took over the underground. Oliver pivoted. He taught himself music production, picked up the moniker Tree, and began blending indie vocals with heavy, experimental dubstep beats. In 2013, he self-released his debut EP titled Demons. It was experimental, moody, and completely different from the pop star he would eventually become. Yet, it proved one thing: the kid had undeniable genius. Oliver quickly realized that talent wasn't enough to cut through the digital noise of the internet. You needed a hook. You needed a spectacle. Enter Turbo. In 2016, Oliver teamed up with producer Weathen for the track When I'm Down. The song went viral, catching the eye of major labels. When Atlantic Records signed him in 2017, Oliver didn't just walk into their offices as a singer, he walked in as Turbo. Turbo was an obnoxious, scooter-riding, retro windbreaker wearing alien from another dimension. He was a caricature of every awkward 90s kid, dialed up to 11. Atlantic Records didn't always know what to do with him. Oliver constantly faked public feuds with his own label, claiming they were holding his music hostage. It was performance art masked as marketing. When his debut album Ugly is Beautiful dropped in July 2020, it defied expectations. Tracks like Alien Boy and Hurt combined alternative rock, hip-hop, and pop into a sound that was wildly infectious. If Ugly is Beautiful made him a star, what happened next made him a global phenomenon. In 2021, Oliver released the deluxe version of the album. Hidden inside was a quirky track called Life Goes On. The song caught fire on TikTok. Within months, it became the background track to millions of videos worldwide, ultimately racking up over 700 million streams on Spotify alone. Oliver understood virality better than almost anyone. He didn't just make music videos, he engineered memes. He constructed the world's largest kick scooter, landing himself officially in the Guinness World Records. He went on ridiculous interview circuits, picking fights with hosts, acting completely bizarre, and leaving audiences wondering, is this guy for real, or is this the longest-running joke in music history? Just when the world thought they had him figured out, Oliver killed off the Turbo persona. For his sophomore album, Cowboy Tears in 2022, he traded the windbreaker for a country pop aesthetic, complete with a massive blonde mullet. By 2023's Alone in a Crowd, he transformed again, this time into a pretentious British fashion designer named Cornelius Cummings. He was a musical chameleon, hiding his true self behind layers of satire. By 2026, Oliver Tree was tired of the corporate machine. In April of that year, he made the bold decision to leave Atlantic Records behind. He wanted total creative freedom. He launched his own independent imprint, Alien Boy Records, and immediately dropped his fourth studio album, Love You Madly, Hate You Badly. It was raw, experimental, and uniquely him. To celebrate his independence, Oliver announced an exhausting, ambitious 70-date world tour. He was determined to hit every corner of the globe, bringing his chaotic live energy directly to the fans who built him. The tour was a massive triumph. In mid-June, Oliver arrived in Brazil for a series of highly anticipated shows. On June 14, 2026, just after wrapping up a high-energy concert in São Paulo, Oliver boarded a helicopter bound for Rio de Janeiro. Tragically, midway through the flight, his aircraft was involved in a devastating mid-air collision with another helicopter. There were no survivors. At just 32 years old, the man who spent his life defying gravity on scooters and in music videos was gone in an instant. When the news first broke, fans refused to believe it. Oliver had faked his retirement so many times that everyone assumed this was his ultimate prank. But as reality set in, a profound sadness hit the internet. Oliver Tree wasn't just a meme. Beneath the bowl cut and the oversized clothes was a fiercely dedicated filmmaker, a brilliant producer, and a brilliant visionary who sacrificed his own normalcy to make us laugh and dance. Oliver Tree lived life at breakneck speed, pushing boundaries until the very end. He proved that you can build an empire out of being an outcast. Life goes on, but the music world will never be the same without its favorite alien. What was your favorite Oliver Tree era or song? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more
Oliver Tree has seen huge success from TikTok hits such as Life Goes On and Miss You, along with his iconic character Turbo. But many are unaware of who Oliver was before their success. Going by the alias Tree, Oliver released his first ever album in 2011, named Splitting Branches. Some fan favorite songs are Artemisia and This Is Separation. Oliver also released an EP under the name Demons before abandoning the Tree project. Before returning to the music scene as Oliver Tree, an event commonly referred to as the Forest Fire occurred in which all Tree music was wiped from the internet. Luckily, almost all of it has been recovered and can be listened to on the Ashwood Project SoundCloud page, link in the description. The music style of Splitting Branches is a far cry from the modern TikTok-centric music released by Oliver Tree these days. Would you like to see Oliver return to his indie style of days past?